What is up, guys? I am Jordan, or JKU390, and I'm here in The Sims 3. So, for people that aren't really used to my channel, are probably like, why are you playing The Sims 3? Sims 4 has been out for so many years already, and it's not really that good. But for people that have watched, I like to play Sims 3 from time to time. I always enjoyed the Sims games. The original The Sims was probably still my favorite, but this is a very close second. Followed then by Sims 2, and finally by Sims 4. I generally play this, like I said, from time to time, and I always do it on the channel, usually about once a year, I'd say. And I usually go and make a lot of the people from the True Friends Gaming, my channel that I'm on right now. And we throw them all together in a house and just kind of watch and see what happens. I turn free will all the way up. I let them just kind of act as they would, try and make them as much like them as possible. So I'm going to do the same thing, but I'm going to make the people from the Saturday Morning Gamers, which is a much bigger channel of people that we hang out with. So this house actually isn't going to have the True Friends members in it. I'm going to make them separate. One thing I generally don't include, though, is me making the people. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to start out with Scott from Scott Dog Gaming. So Old Man Scott, he's a little bit heftier overall up here. Huh? No. Yeah, I'm glad you got my wacky joke, Scott. Now he's a little bit bigger. He's got more muscle than that, too. Look at that. He's got some definition in him. I should have a picture up on the screen for you guys right now for it. I'm actually using a thing from the Saturday Morning Gamers, like our D&D series we do, to see what he's like, to try and truly craft his image, rather than my usual just going by memory. I'm only kind of limited to the DLCs I have. I'm not like Kirk, who's part of the channel that has all of them, so I can't necessarily make a perfect Scott, but that's okay. Scott's a werewolf. He's the Scott dog. He's got something similar to this, but less in the front and more in the top. There we go. Looks like every werewolf you're used to in media. A goblin. Yeah, his skin tone changes when he becomes a werewolf. He becomes a black man. Oh man, he becomes an overweight werewolf. He's a muscleless, buff werewolf. He just becomes a big old lazy dog. I think that's what Scott would want. In fact, wait. There we go. As pasty as possible. No eyelashes. Doesn't need them. Man, I think I messed up. I think instead of making werewolf Scott, I just made Scott. Scott's face. Where's the majority of face? It's in the lower half, actually. Not really in like an insulting kind of way, because I realized that could sound like it. His head's kind of, it goes out wider down in the cheeks. Yeah, maybe that'll work. Because it's not like it's a ridiculous dip. Like, his face doesn't look like a pear. He's not a potato man. As cool as that would be. I just wish I could get something more this way. Not swooshing that way, but swooshing the opposite direction. Unless he always has stuff mirrored, in which case, oh yeah, just use the mirror. There we go. That's all Scotty boy. Yeah, I think Scott would sleep in a tank top that was painted onto his skin. Kinda cool, I guess. Oh man, there we go. He's, Chewbacca. Now for the worst part, where I have to be potentially complimentative. I have to give Scott his traits. You know what? Scott is ambitious. Would I call Scott charismatic? In some senses, yes, but I don't know how he'd be in the real world as opposed to talking to us, because in that regard, he likes to kind of, sounds like the way he describes it, push people away. Couch potato, I think that's one he would use to describe himself. Inappropriate Sims talk about the wrong thing at the wrong time, never think to dress properly, and never apologize when they've wronged someone. Enjoy mocking others with harsh words. I think the enjoying mocking others and saying inappropriate things at inappropriate times 100% describes Scott. But he is always good about apologizing if he wronged somebody. He dresses, like a normal... here he obviously doesn't when I'm in control, but on a normal basis he dresses like a normal human being. Scott's very neat. He keeps his place, at least from what we can see of it, very, very well kept, very well taken care of. Yeah, I'd say Scott's a workaholic. He puts a lot of work into the crap he does. I applaud him for that. I'd say that's probably one of Scott's best traits, if I'm being completely honest. He's got to be the leader of the pack. He is the werewolf, after all. Do I like that hair better? You know what? Whenever he transforms, then his hair goes into that form, and then otherwise his hair stays the same. Perfect. Scott's got a good deep voice. It's like around a, I'd say maybe a baritone almost. He has a lot of blues on his channel. Blues, like lighter blues, not dark blue, but light blue. He listened to what the kids listen to, so maybe that should be my choice. But I think, hip hop, hippity hip hop. No. Custom music. Sure. His astrological sign. Scott is born on December 11th. And the only reason I know that is because I'm currently recording this on December 11th. The next person I'm going to make now is Jesse from Player 2 Insert Coin. Jesse's hair is blonde, brown, light brown, light brown, something, please. Dark brown, maybe. It's hard to tell with the video I've got open. To be completely honest with you, in terms of people's hairs, I always have, like this, I guess is red. That's most definitely red. That's dark brown. That's like maybe blonde, maybe brown. Whenever it comes to colors like that, I actually have a really hard time telling the difference. Which is strange, but that's just how it's always been. Whenever Ricardo made it, he made the colors where the upper part is white and the brim is green. So it's actually pretty close already. It's just kind of alternate. Alright, so he's got like a weird like pedo stash type deal going on. Let's see what he has in the real Jesse. Oh, actually, yeah, he still doesn't look that different from what Ricardo drew. Uh-oh. What would be the best way to describe the beard under his chin? I don't want to be rude and call it a broom. You know, like the bristles of a broom. But his head's kind of like a broom. Yeah, we'll go with this god-awful, like my facial hair when it grows out. That's like, look guys, I grew a beard, what do you think? And it's like just here, and then the rest of this is like, nope. What shape would that be? Yeah, it's elongated from head to chin, and it's skinnier on the sides. Close to my shape in my head, except I got a little bit more of a triangular jaw, but other than that, I think we've got a somewhat similar sized head. Alright, Jesse knows. I'm going to rotate him the way I'm seeing him in the picture right now to try and really capture what I see. Yep, that's it. No. Jesse's got very bright blue eyes. Jesse's got really good blue eyes. Line it down a little bit. Not quite, again, to like, meh. But, like right about there. It's like the fusion of skater and homeless is what I'm looking for. You know, like it's able to have like the cool holes in there like for style wise, but also just because that's how they are. Like it's for style purpose, there's holes, but he didn't make them on purpose. Yeah, we'll go with that. Man, I really wish I could fix this. I'm sorry, Jesse. And for how mean I'm being. But that's also because of anybody in the group, you might be one of the only ones that will even give this a passing glance. You and potentially Jolly. And she'll just skip to see Scott herself in GP. Jesse is absent-minded. Is Jesse a slob? Yes, and mainly because I've got Scott as somebody that likes to clean stuff up, so I think that'll be fun. Fun little combination there. Is he a hopeless romantic? Yeah. He's got his beautiful love story between him and his significant other. GP. No, his special someone. Family-oriented. I would say that, yes, Jesse is extremely family-oriented. That would be his probably best trait, in my opinion. In terms of his, well, his family.
Oh, Bessie Parker.
See, right now he's kissing a picture of his daughter, Autumn. He just cares about them all so much. Flirty? Yeah, we'll say he's flirty. There we go, he's a flirty, hopeless romantic. But he's also a slob, and he's absent-minded, so it's a good trade-off. But at the end of the day, he's just looking for his family. So next, I believe it's time to work on, we'll make one of the females. We'll make Kala. And of course, one of the most important rules in The Sims when making a lady is to be good to not offend them. So the first thing you want to do is make sure to change them to a man so that it no longer matters. It's hard to tell because she's sitting down, so the hair, instead of being straight down, is like all over this whole shoulder and chest region. So it's hard to necessarily tell exactly what her hair is like, and I don't necessarily know because that's the only way I ever see her is when we play like D&D and stuff. The highlights, there we go. We'll make those a little bit more than the, not necessarily yellow, but not quite green. Actually, those eyebrows are kind of close to hers. Hers just look angrier. Kala's got kind of like a baby face in that, you know, regardless of the fact she's like 112, she looks like she's, you know, like 14. Not quite what I meant by baby face, but that is kind of like a baby's face. I say, I forgot women also don't wear pants apparently. They wear upside down flowers and that and that. It's like something a kindergartner would make and then have it upside down and say it's for flowers. Starting things off, artistic. Kala is definitely very artistic. Very, very talented singer. Very good overall artist in terms of drawing. So actually, you know what? With that, I'm also going to give a virtuoso. Kala is a vegetarian. Oh, I thought she was eating a shoe. I just saw it in the corner of my eye. Perfectionist. Puts a lot of time into her, like, random things like music that she's working on, and then, like me, never releases it because it's never good enough. Which is honestly a dumb way to go about it. Even I should just be like, okay, this is as good as it's going to be, or I'm not going to get anything else done with it. I should just release it as is. But then I'd never be happy with it. She's a little too friendly. I'm not going to give her that one. Evil. There we go. That seems more like her. Inappropriate. Well, just because she's the most perverse of our group. Makes the most inappropriate jokes whenever we're trying to stream a perfectly innocent game and she's making all these weird dick jokes. Classic Kala. Never nude as far as I've seen. So I guess that could definitely be one. That or I'm just totally missing something. Oh, Supernatural fan. Yeah, she likes Supernatural. You know what? Yeah, we'll give her that. Vocal legend. Make sure to check out her singing stuff. Call-Author Games. Cause she's a girl, her favorite color's black. Music. Dark wave. I mean, next I could make Jolly. And as we all know, I make sure to point out that she is an 8-year-old white boy from Detroit. So because Jolly changes her picture in terms of like, she also does the different hair thing, but through wigs, so she literally looks like a different person every time I see her. I'm just going to base it off of what her character, like her caricature, looks like. It's kind of poofy is what the hair's kind of doing on this. I need something not quite like that, but like the bottoms really poof out. You know, keeping it around there actually kind of works. And then this will have like that pinkish purple almost to it. Alright, once again, need a hoodie. Please, Sims, hashtag hoodies for women. As much as I think Jolly is always good at keeping herself seeming professional when she's not doing the YouTube stuff, this is for the YouTube stuff. So, perfect. Oh, it's like is that like the bra snot sliding through? I don't know what that's supposed to be. Undershirt under the undershirt? I don't know. Sorry guys, I don't know what bras are. Oh, that's just the crotch area. There we go. Make it a big target. Jolly wants everyone to know the target. It's her wiener. I realize now that if Jolly does watch this, she'll see herself and be like, oh my god, Jordan, you've made me perfectly to frame. How did you do it? And I'll just have to say I'm a natural artist. Jolly is very childish. She's able to maintain that young, just innocence while still not being innocent at all. Jolly is clumsy. Diva Sims are amazing. You don't forget it. When they're good, they're great. When they're bad, they're better. Oh yeah, that's Jolly all the way around. Jolly is very excitable.
Wanna do? Sing Jabaga!
She's a social butterfly. She takes pictures with random people in like bathrooms and crap and sends them to us. It's weird. But I'd say more than any of them, she's a good person. Jolly, a very cool, friendly person. Oh man, yeah, she wants to be an international super spy, because that's cool as crap. Luckily, whenever Moira dropped on Overwatch, GP streamed it. So I've got him. He doesn't get to be a young adult. He's also, technically Jolly and Jesse should have also been, because they're all with Scott in their 30s, but with the rest of us following pretty quickly, unfortunately. GP doesn't have any fat on his body at all. He also has zero muscle. He's also pale. He's kind of got that thing going. not quite to such a chaotic, display. So he's got, like, this thing going on. Yeah, GP. Unless... no. I mean, it's kind of looking like GP, I guess. I just wish I could make it look as much like him as the last one did. I guess he could also be a butcher. That's fine. Oh, I know, because he works down in the salt mines. There they are. And, of course, as we all know, GP doesn't have shoes because he ate them. Formal attire. Yeah, I'm going to have to go with, yep, same outfit. Exactly. GP is a computer whiz. He's the guy that hosts all of our servers. He's the guy that makes our robots and our discords. He's the guy that gets all of that stuff done because GP is good at what he does. Is there dislikes everyone? Because that would work a whole lot better with GP. Speaking of which, GP is grumpy. I wanted to give him that one. I would say that GP in his own world and like his own way is a genius, so I'll give him that. He's dramatic. GP is dramatic. GP is a loner, enjoys time alone. He's quiet, shy, will never approach anyone that isn't a close friend. They prize their solitude and get nervous around large groups. Yeah, we'll say that's GP for sure. I mean, sure, he loves us, but that's about it. But that's okay, we love GP as well. Become a creature-robot crossbreeder. You know what? I think that's exactly what he wants to be. I kind of like this group because these are like the people that are around the most. God, Jesse really, the least of everyone is the most like himself. Also, I never changed his voice, did I? Because I don't remember it being that high. Oh yeah, the other people aren't around as much. So I might put them in their own households and let them just kind of wander around. Also because I want this to be a relatively short video, and I've already been filming for 2.5 hours. Which is actually pretty quick in terms of me making characters. I can tell I rushed it. But I generally put a lot of time into trying to make all the clothes and stuff like exact. Man, look at that beautiful family. All socially awkward, too afraid to get too close to one another. That's perfect. Let's do it. Do I want to edit the relationships? Of course. Yep, Scott's all of their dad. And I guess with that, we're going to conclude this, and next time, we'll be moving into the house. So, until next time, everyone, later.